Why am I trying to get fit in my feral 40s? What's up, my movers and shakers? Famous Ashley Grant here. Welcome to More Movement, Please, the podcast where I hope to inspire you to move your body more. So, today I want to talk about the fact that I chose to try to get fit in my 40s. What was it that finally made me decide that it was time to do this? And I've kind of talked about this in the past, but I guess I've been thinking a lot lately as I'm getting closer to my day 365 milestone. I'm reflecting a lot about what it was that made me decide to finally listen to Rhonda, my instructor. And as I've told you guys in the past, she had said many of the statements many times to me that I needed to work out more and that I, needed to take better care of myself and that only I could. So what was it that finally made her statements stick? I think the biggest thing was recognizing the limitations in my own physical health. I have talked about it so many times that I was struggling to go upstairs. I was struggling to walk around. And as I was watching the health of some of the people in my life decline, I was recognizing that if I didn't make a change, I was on the fast track to be, if not like them, worse off than them. And it scared me. It really did. And the funny thing is, it was about, I don't want to say it was a full decade ago, because it feels like it was too long, but maybe it was. But the doctor told me that I was a ticking time bomb. She told me that if I kept going the way that I was going to have a heart attack. And even though that scared me too, for some reason, it didn't click the way that you'd think a statement like that would to make you, well, start working out. It took watching physical pains actually happening to others to finally make me act. So even though my doctor had told me that if I wasn't careful, I was basically a ticking time bomb waiting to happen, it still didn't click just how serious it was until I started watching the physical ailments that were impacting some loved ones and some friends. It took watching them deal with that to finally make me act. And I guess the reality is that when someone tells you something is going to impact you versus actually witnessing it happening to someone, that's when it really shakes you up. There's a true difference between someone telling you that you are at risk of a heart attack versus watching people actually be impacted by a threat that makes the threat feel more real. It's kind of like how, if they tell you there's a tornado watch, well, you keep an eye out for it. But how many of us really actively pay attention to it? But if they say tornado warning, that's when we pay attention. That's when we're like, oh crap, it's imminent, it's coming. So I guess you could say that my doctor telling me I was a ticking time bomb, that was my tornado watch. But watching people actually impacted by serious health problems, that was my tornado warning. And it just so happened to line up, if I'm really being honest, as I'm reflecting on this year-long journey, it just so happened to line up that that was about the time that my instructor said to me those fateful words again that she had said similarly so many times before, that it was a choice whether or not I was going to schedule my fitness, whether or not I was going to schedule taking care of myself, whether or not I was going to put myself first. And it was like that was the time I finally realized why it was so important I put on my own oxygen mask first. So, what's your tornado watch? What's your tornado warning? What I want to encourage you to do is take an honest assessment of where you're at right now. Are you in the tornado watch of things? Or are you in the tornado warning? And more importantly, if you are in the watch stage, do you even want to risk getting to the warning stage? I don't want that for you. If you're in the tornado watch, start working out. Start moving your body. Start actively choosing yourself. Start taking care of yourself. Onwards and upwards, my friend. Have you worked out today?